We finally found a place we're gonna set up. It was a pretty big challenge today trying to find the first couple places we tried. The roads weren't cleared, which will happen. We're just out on kind of old logging roads, and only ones with ongoing operations will be plowed, so it's hard to know ahead of time. So the first couple we didn't have any luck. We had trouble getting in anywhere. And now we found this spot here that we can set our tent up. And there's a lake about 50 meters through the bush here, so we're gonna set up here for now and enjoy the night. Ow. Whee! Staked out the corners and then to the guy lines, eh?
I think so.
Okay. This guy we can attach to there.
Yeah.
So one of the questions we have is just in terms of, like, we have to stake the corners of the tent down, and how difficult that becomes as the ground freezes. So we're anticipating it's pretty solid right now. I've done some of my finest craftsmanship and made us a nice stake here. And yeah, I'm just gonna give it a try and we'll see if we can actually do anything or not. Wasn't a problem here.
Sorry?
Not a problem here.
Oh, sweet. Got a nice long piece of poplar here, which is not the best hardwood you could burn, but there aren't many hardwoods up here in the boreal forest, so we'll take it. It was standing and it's dry, not rotten at all. I don't normally burn poplar, and I think it doesn't smell great, but if all the exhaust is going out the stovepipe anyway, I don't see how it matters. So it's been a bit of a struggle this morning just to find somewhere to camp, but now we can get to the real theme of the day, which is glamping. We're going to be taking the hot tent to the next level, really pimping it out. And if you're looking for Christmas gift ideas, you might find some in this video. Got some new cool gear to use. You want to break it in? With your hands.
Oh, we're not going to play into that with my chiclets. I won.
Oh. It's only about -10, but turns a Mars bar into a rock. That's a nice piece. Stalking the camera. This fallen birch, well, this birch got brought down by a tree that fell on it, but it wasn't rotten, it wasn't wet, so that can be tough to find. Still lots of cutting to do on this to make it firewood, but it's a good building block. Oh, look at that piece. Just a big arch. Beautiful. I'm going to start by cutting it in half to make it more manageable. Oh, it's heavy.
Huh, I'm not sure what's, we're gonna have to take a look. It's not going up. I said I'm gonna need your help.
Oh. Oh. That's a pig. It's super dense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be impossible to split.
Look at that.
That did nothing.
I can't even tell where it hit. It didn't even
I wonder if it's dry enough.
scratch it.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Might have been for nothing. That's like that. Oh. It must be too wet. I don't know. Like, that's insane.
I don't think I've ever had an axe do that.
Hey! There's no way we're splitting that. That's not good.
I mean, that's the thicker of the two.
I wonder if all that work is for nothing. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, it's cracking.
Good.
I think we'll be able to make use of some of it.
My girl doesn't quit. Hey!
That's what I'm talking about.
There's a good strong woman.
See? Look. This is exactly what I was trying to do. There's this gnarly knot that definitely wouldn't go through. So I tried to cut just on the side of it so it split right past. And it worked. That's awesome.
Can't wait for all the comments asking why I'm letting Erin cut wood.
Because I'm good at it.
I don't let Erin cut wood. She chooses to cut wood. I don't make Erin cut wood. She's a grown woman. She decides for herself. Every time Erin cuts wood, we get that comment.
Yeah.
Old fashioned. So here comes a test for our new stovepipe. If you watched our first hot tent, you'll know our stovepipe didn't work too well. So we got a couple of new pieces from the hardware store in Marathon. And more importantly, an adjustable elbow, which can turn any which way, 45 degree all the way to 90. Actually more than 45. It can go pretty much straight up, or it can go as far down as about 90 degrees. So lots of flexibility. The elbow didn't fit super well into the pipes that we had, so kind of jammed it in. It's a bit of a hack job. And used some copper wire to put it through on all four sides to keep it in place. Just have it in this plastic bag here because the stovepipe is covered in soot or creosote, which makes a huge mess on your clothes and such, so it's just a good way to protect it. By the way, we contacted the company we bought this Great West Metal stove from. They said it rarely happens. You just have to use good quality hardwood and keep a hot fire going all night. Well, fires burn out and the heat dies down, so that makes no sense to me. And then I contacted Great West Metal as well, and they sent a nice email saying that they're looking into it, the poor design, but I can't strongly recommend not buying that stove enough. The female end should go down. They designed it so it goes up, and then the creosote can drip down the pipe. Last time who knows how much fumes we breathed in overnight. It was terrible. Just a really poor design, so at this point, can't recommend it. My buddy David from Pretty Big Q sent us these hot gloves. You can handle hot things. I keep them here for if I have to handle stovepipe in an emergency. But they're also great because I can just get them a little sooty and use it to set up the stove. Okay, now I'm just going to turn the elbow to shoot out this way, you think? About here?
Maybe this way?
More this way?
I think so.
Why do you think that?
Oh, just not towards the trees?
Well, yeah, the pipe doesn't go up very far.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you think's best.
But we also have to come in here.
Yeah.
Meet you in the middle?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. And it's 2 new pieces. And because we have the elbow now, we're going to have to make a little bipod or tripod to support this pipe. It'd probably be fine without it. I think the weight would be supported. These pipes aren't that long. But if the wind picks up in the middle of the night, we'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're not really bothering to decorate at home this season, so we're going to get out of our systems here. You got to get in the holiday spirit, right? Yeah, my family gives me all these. This one's the sweetest of all.
Yeah.
Probably.
Very nice. Hanging up the skates.
If you want to know who made the beautiful stained glass, you're looking at her, my talented queen. You can follow her on Instagram at Giant of the Woods if you're into stained glass and wood making. She's super talented. Well, we're getting toward the end of the setup, and all I could find in the area was white spruce boughs. I'm told that if you heat up white spruce boughs, that they're gonna stink a little bit. So in addition to the stinky poplar, we might also have stinky boughs. But the alternative was going far away for it, or not using boughs at all. So this is only our second time doing this. We're learning lessons, and sometimes it's just better to learn for yourself than to be told something is the case. So we're interested to see what it's gonna smell like, if it's really that bad.
It's not going to be worse than Shepherd's Pie Day, I'll tell you that.
This is one new toy we'll be using today. It's a Men Grill's camping pressure cooker. Never seen anything like it. Anton, thank you for sending us this. Really sweet. It's made of aluminum, so it's actually very light. I think it's 10 liters or something like that. It's quite sizable. It's got release valves on the top, and it just seals using this crank here. And we're gonna make a nice big stew on there. We're getting really hungry. Haven't had anything since breakfast, and we're losing sun now. So once the work is done, which is never when you're hot tenting apparently, we can start to eat. There, that should do for the bipod. I don't think it's even necessary because we're really out of the wind. It's an east wind, so we positioned ourselves so we'd be leeward behind this stand of trees here. But you never know, in the middle of the night, it's not something you want to have to wake up and worry about. So it'd be nice to have them here for a little extra support. We got a pretty good stock of firewood for tonight. This time is all hardwood, birch and poplar, as opposed to their first time, where we only had spruce and fir. So it should burn slower, longer, not much hotter. This is not a super hot burn. I'm told the best in the boreal forest is probably jack pine, realistically, but I don't see any around, so we make do with what we have. We also got a carbon monoxide detector this time. The creosote smoldering on the stove last time was kind of scary. You kind of like doze off and you just hope there's not carbon monoxide, which is super dangerous. So it'd be nice to have that peace of mind here. This only works, I think it has to be at least 4 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to try and hang it somewhere higher where it's going to be warmer in the tent. The heat's all going to rise there. The difference in temperature between the top of the tent and the ground is huge. So we can keep it high so that it hopefully works. Okay, it's finally time for supper. We're going to have some fun with this later. But first we're going to get the stove going. Oh, that's fine. Damper. Okay, starting this again. GoPro bugged out on us as for the millionth time. Got stewing beef in there, a mix of peppers that we just had to use up, and potatoes.
Well, potatoes precious.
Oh, you can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Carrots. I like doing all the food prep at home. Certainly wouldn't want to be cutting all this and prepping it, trying to wash it out here. Onion. This is going to be so good. Already smells good. It's not even cooking yet. Crushed tomatoes. More crushed tomato. More crushed tomato. It's 1 jar, 1 can, 14 ounce I think. Green beans. More green beans. It's frozen into a puck. Worcester sauce. Fresh cracked pepper, plenty of it. Salt. And some bay leaves.
Did you say Bailey's?
Soon. Those were the bay leaves. Soon we'll be having Baileys. You know you're hungry when you're dying to eat your meal and it hasn't even started to cook yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to seal up the Mengrels pressure cooker. This can go directly on the flames too. You could burn an open fire and put it right in there, which is really cool. Cool. Get it nice and tight, bottle up all that heat, and hopefully in a couple hours we can eat. I'm gonna put it on.
You bet.
Thank you. I'm back on the road scouting for softwood, dry standing softwood. Can't find any around our camp, so this is the easiest place to scout rather than going through the bush. I can't find a thing. It seems crazy, it's always so abundant. I feel like a hunter that's failing to bring back a kill. Speaking of which, there are tracks everywhere. Snowshoe hare. Maybe some, no, we've seen some canine tracks. Some of these are deeper, but I think they're still hare. Anyway, plenty roaming about here. Well, I'm returning home empty-handed. We'll have to see if Aaron's going to reject me as a mate. I don't have any softwood. No. Don't do this. I'm coming in anyway. Oh, it's so toasty in here. Oh, now we're cooking.
I went out to grab my bag and I came back in and was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Some steam coming off there. Sweet. Yeah, I know. You can go outside to get a little chill.
But yeah, it's going now.
Beautiful. Oh. All right, it's time to get festive up in here. This one's for Clark Griswold. Hey! I even had a Clark Griswold moment for a second where it didn't turn on.
Yay.
How? How are we doing this, you ask? Let me show you. So this is how we're doing this. Our friends at Jackery sent us this sweet power station. It's got one of my favorite features is this display, which shows the battery, the input if you're charging, and the output in watts if you're if you're using it. You can charge it with in the car with they have a car charger for it. You can also plug it in to charge it, and then it's got 2 USBs. You can put a plug in here to power these lights. That's what's doing it right now. Or you can plug in to an electrical outlet there to charge it the fastest. That display times out just to save battery power, but really cool. We've now got so many devices. We've got 2 GoPros, a cell phone, which is also the controller for a new gadget, which is our drone. The drone also needs charging. We've just got a crazy number of things to charge here now. So something like this is extremely helpful when we can bring it. It's especially helpful right now with the cold. It really kills our batteries, so we're going to be charging several of them tonight to help get us through, despite the fact that for cameras we have 15 batteries. For the drone we have 3. We just got the Mavic Mini. That's another item I was going to show on this this trip, but we flew it into a tree immediately, broke the props, so we're gonna have to come back to that. We do have replacement props for it, so I'm gonna do that tonight while it's dark, and hopefully be up and running again tomorrow, but didn't have time to fuddle with that today. So we're also going to be getting a Jackery solar panel to charge this, or just to charge USB devices. That's going to be really sweet, also from Jackery. This is the mid-sized model. I tend to go with the Goldilocks option when it comes to choosing between small, middle, and large. This was the middle one, the Explorer 240. There's also the maximum output on this, I believe, is 200 watts, and then there's one that's 500 watts and one's like 160 or something like that. But there are 3 sizes. This one's 6.6 pounds, which is perfectly reasonable. It's very light for a trip like this. These are for sale on Amazon. I really like it so far. There's going to be a really good deal for the US and for Canada in December 2019. So I'll post those details in the description. And Jackery, thank you so much for this gift. It is sweet. Having these lights is so nice, eh? Just almost feels like ambient lights, just nice and natural feeling in here. As opposed to headlamps only, or...
Yeah, the headlamps are a bit harsh, and it feels like nighttime.
And it's just a beam on one spot.
So direct.
This is lighting up the whole tent.
It's beautiful.
Really nicely. Get out of here.
What? There. I had a little taste. No,
It looked like it.
Yeah.
Oh, Bailey's. Oh, you're good. Okay. I think the wine is warm enough anyway. Oh. Just let this baby breathe. Oh. The steam smells so good. It's very satisfying. Oh, it's milking a cow. I've never milked a cow.
But I presume it would be something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a city boy. Never milked a cow. 10 men broke loose in '73. There's a lot of steam in there.
Steam's heating it up in here too.
Yeah, it's getting humid in here.
Yeah, it is.
Humid with beef juice.
Oh, those dry eyes.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I think we let the pressure get too high. I don't think you're supposed to let it get super high. The stream of steam, rhymes, should be pretty gentle, I believe, like this. So that's okay. The Mengrill's, what's the word? I keep forgetting it.
Pressure cooker?
Pressure cooker, thank you. Apparently it's supposed to have an emergency valve anyway if the pressure gets too high, so it shouldn't be an issue at all, but you know, if you want to have the best food, then you don't let it get too hot. All right, no steam coming out. Let's open her up. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, it's so beefy. Does that sound weird to say? No.
Not at all.
No, it's perfectly normal. Oh. Problem is, I forgot a ladle. So, I'm not sure how we're gonna get it out. I guess we could just scoop it out with a cup. A sacrificial cup.
A good idea.
Please get in my belly. Decided just to pour it out. Hopefully without a lot of spillage. This is also going to be our breakfast tomorrow. We're just going to leave it outside to freeze. Maybe we'll start with smaller portions.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
my.
the good stuff.
Yeah, you can have some of that. The nice thing about this Mengrill's pressure cooker is that you treat it kind of like cast iron. You don't have to wash it all that thoroughly. It's not a big deal to leave it a little residue, which is nice here. Cleaning dishes sucks here, especially in the winter. Oh, the plate's hot. All the good stuff came out on my plate.
That's good, thank you.
Another beef.
Oh, thanks, you're so sweet.
I know.
Get out of here with that potato.
I'm okay. Take your veggies. Came out a little on the soupy side, but we really couldn't care less right now. Okay, let's do this. Cheers. Bon appetit. That's pretty hot, isn't it?
Mine's had some time to cool down. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's one of the best meals. All year, all season.
I could drink this right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not just because we're starving. It's amazing. I think this is the best backcountry meal we've had. Dan Calzone's come close.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
The steak.
Oh yeah, our
It's
steaks
pretty
were
good.
That's true.
And boursin is pretty much as good as
Well,
any meal.
obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, somehow that craft dinner on my birthday weekend, also up there. I don't know what it was was just the best
It was a
mix.
good batch.
And the crappy part is no craft dinner since has been able to compare. Like I've had good craft dinner since, but I'm like, not the same.
Some wine.
Thanks, son.
These inflation bags are really the way to go. Whoops. It came off.
Sleeping mat might be full.
Yep. Well, it's time to inspect the damage. This one is clearly broken. This one is a little broken. This one is a little broken. So, it's not a good start. We set it to do a quick shot, and it took away swiftly into a tree. But it did warn me that the temperature was too cold for operation, and I had to hit agree to allow it to take off. And we took that risk, and it did not pay off. But aside from probably our own ineptitude, this drone is pretty sweet. Played around with it in the backyard. It's actually a smaller two-dimensional footprint than my cell phone. Obviously, it's much deeper, but that's still insanely impressive. It doesn't have obstacle avoidance, unlike some drones, which is evidently an issue, but
We got the Flymore package, so we have some spare blades. We can replace them now with this little screwdriver, and hopefully be up and running tomorrow. Literally just got it this week, like 2 days ago. Heartbreaking. Got stuck up in a tree, and we were lucky to be able to get it back in the first place. I just love that feature. Tells me exactly what's coming in, out, and what's left. 94%, and it's been going for hours. It's about 8:30. It's stinking hot in here. Very, very comfortable. We're tuckered out. We're gonna go to bed really soon. Tomorrow, we investigate the lake that we haven't even gotten to yet. Didn't have time to get to the lake, which is just, I don't know, a couple hundred meters through the bush. Thankfully, we brought a big jug of water. For some reason, it's like baby water. It was the last one they had at the grocery store. But really glad that we had it this time. We just bought it so that we could have the bottle. For $1.25, you can't get a better plastic bottle. And I just wanted it as like a reservoir for our dirty water from the lake. Or not dirty, but not fit, boiled. Not potable. No, it's potable. Yeah, not boiled water. Or for dishwater. But so we brought it out here full with water, and that was a good thing because we haven't even gotten to the lake. And it's time to shut off the lights. Alright, temperature this morning is -16, and we left the beef stew out here to freeze, just because it's got beef in it. Time to take this inside, heat it up for breakfast.
It's about just a bit after 8 a.m. Got down to about -15 last night, and we were pretty cozy. John slept by the fire last night, so he got up every hour or so and stoked it for us. And yeah, it gets a bit chilly, but totally manageable. This hat makes a big difference. I ordered it this fall from Fall Raven, and having a nice hat that keeps your head warm and at night, just it makes all the difference. So I'm really happy with that. And John's up and has stew on the stove for breakfast, so gonna get up and start the day. We went through most of our wood pile last night. John slept by the fire, so he was the one getting up every hour or so to stoke it to make sure that we didn't freeze. So I'm out here this morning gathering and processing a little bit of wood so that we can heat up breakfast.
Throwing snow on the stove is becoming one of my favorite pastimes.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's funny, you get outside and you realize how cold it is. It's you almost forget being in the hot tent. But beautiful blue skies today. This is another toy we got to try and up the videography here. It's a Hohem iSteady Pro 2 gimbal. You can control it using an app here. And the main reason I got it was to create motion time lapses where the camera turns like this so smoothly, but it would be much slower over long like a half hour or something. And then you get a time lapse where it's sweeping over your scene. But the app is performing really poorly, so I don't think this one's going to stick around, unfortunately. Its main purpose is as a gimbal, so any way I move the handle, it counteracts it and keeps my my frame steady. But I don't even really want it that much for that. I mostly want it for the motion time lapse, so if it can't do that well in the app, then it's no good. Our sleeping pads were on a bit of an angle last night, so we just jammed some stuff. Can you scoot over just a little? We just jammed my winter coat under Aaron's and a few rounds under mine. It really helps if you're on an angle, just to keep that downslope side up a little bit. Okay, let's eat. It smells amazing.
Stew for breakfast. Could not be more excited. It was actually really nice to have leftovers for breakfast that we just put on the stove and then reheated and not having to do much other than keep the fire going for it. And let's see what we got here. Ooh, that smells fantastic.
We thought we had left just enough for breakfast, but we'd actually barely put a dent in it. We have so much left to eat, which is great. Now we can pig out. We're really happy to have this water in the end. I think we might refill it and bring water with us again. It's not a horrible weight penalty for the convenience. And this Mengrill's pressure cooker was fantastic. It was just wonderful for prepping. You could do a full weekend of meals in here if you don't mind eating the same thing over and over. We certainly didn't for 2 meals. Or if you're cooking for a group, it would be awesome too. It can be used at home as well, so I'm sure we'll do that. We don't have a pressure cooker, so thanks, Anton, again. It's getting beautifully sunny out there. I can see it through the tent, so we're gonna go explore.
Hopefully we don't get a soaker here. All right, here goes Aaron's first try with the drone.
What's that? That was fun.
Yeah, it is.
John got a bit of a soaker. Pretty deep, so I guess
The
we're
risk we were taking.
not going out onto the lake. Luckily, we've got a hot tent to return to.
Yep. It's smelly.
Lovely. We'll just have to admire it from here.
I was hoping we could get out onto the actual lake, which I'm sure will be good and frozen. The swampy stuff takes the longest to freeze.
We both have Baffin boots rated to -70, which we love. Aaron just got hers. Mine are the Monster, Snow Monster. Pretty similar to Aaron's. Hers are the Control Max, I believe. They've been excellent.
Yeah, they make a really big difference out here. If anyone's planning on spending any time outside in the winter, I really recommend. Warm feet are just the key to everything.
And then we also love our outdoor research. Well, I do at least. And these weren't gifts or anything, I just love them. These outdoor research Alti mitts have been phenomenal. And then I've been using these outdoor research snow pants for quite a while. They were a gift from my aunt years ago, and they've held up incredibly well. Like, this has been dragged through ice. The ends of the pants, they've gone through a lot, and they're still, the seams and stuff are all really good. So this is quality. Outdoor Research is a brand I really like. You pay for it, but I'd rather pay $200 once than $50 a year for the next 10 years. Some of the best features here are the cinch around the boot top, which keeps snow out, and then laces that can be cinched as well, which is great if you've got big mitts on and you don't want to take them off in winter. And then the snow pant has a really strong elastic band. Snow doesn't even get up here in the first place, so the cinch there is just an extra precaution, but for keeping your feet dry, it's so nice to have that elastic band.
We've been using the Billy Bellows a lot. We found like it's phenomenal for the winter camping and for the stove. It's helped us out a lot. They're not currently in distribution yet, but there are quite a few produced, and if you're interested in one, they make great gifts, great stocking stuffers. Just contact us and we can get you the info to get you hooked up with one. So
From Aaron's dad.
my dad is the one who came up with these and is putting them together. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Really great stocking stuffer, really good. It's so handy, and this one I've had for years. They're great.
Well, to finish out our glamping experience, we're going to have some cheese, which is just warming by the fire, since it's rather cold. And the Mavic Mini fell in the snow, so it needs some time to dry out before we use it again. The white spruce boughs that we slept on didn't get smelly at all, so we figured because it was under us, there's not a ton of heat there. I think if you have it around your stove, it might stink up, but under our pads it was not an issue. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't know if glamping is really possible in a hot tent. If you want to set it up and do all the tasks from scratch, it's a lot of work.
The lights were nice though. That I would do again.
That was very nice,
Yeah.
considering how long night is.
Yeah. And the pressure cooker making meals and that is
Oh, yeah.
actually easier than anything else. It's really convenient to do that again. We're wrapping up another amazing weekend in the hot tent. I'm just so thankful to have it this season. Winters in this part of the world are so long and so cold. If we couldn't get outside, it's just painful. So having something that helps us extend the season is phenomenal. And yeah, I feel really, really thankful that we decided to do it this year, and I'm looking forward to a lot more adventures this winter.
Saw that wolf pulled over and he ran out. It was a huge wolf. Might have been limping a bit.
Oh, maybe.
Wow.
It's big.
Scouting.
Oh, you piece of shit. It's on. It's been recording for 36 minutes.
Alright, I'm gonna seal up the Men Grill's portable grill. Nope, that's not what it's called. Portable. What's this called?
Pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker.
GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, listen to me, damn it.
The nice thing about this Men Grills pressure cooker, I remember the word. I did it.
Yay.
What was the nice thing?
The handles?
No.
230.